Picture this. You're scrolling through Facebook and you see your friend's most recent cruise and you're going, oh my God, that looks amazing. I mean, how much fun would that be? And you're thinking, I want to go ahead and do that. But you have one problem. You don't have anybody to go with. I mean, your friends are typically busy. When they're not cruising with family, they're working. And your family members are on a whole different schedule. And you're starting to think, maybe I'm just going to have to wait for this. And if that's what you're thinking, you're not alone. Hi, my name is Jen. I'm with Desert Sunset Travel, and I was right there with you. I wanted to go on a cruise so bad, but it would require me to go alone, and I was terrified. I was worried I was going to be lonely. I wouldn't have anybody to talk to. It would be a little awkward trying to explain to people, like, why are you alone? And on top of that, the safety issue. Any woman of any age traveling alone in a foreign country, there's always some kind of risk. And at the time that I started solo cruising, there was some huge risk going on at the time, even with women who weren't traveling by themselves, but just in a group. Now, what I discovered, though, with all of the cruises that I have taken by myself, is that that's not true. None of what I thought was true. All of the fears that I had were not true. And I'm going to go ahead and explain to you today some of the 5 reasons why you should take that cruise and not continue to hold yourself back. Don't keep doing it. Before we dive in, let me tell you why I get this. I get it because when you're hovering over that free room that you see in your casino deals from the cruise line, and you're going, oh my gosh, anybody's going to want to go with me. Let's book it now. But then you decide to back out because you're scared. Because no one's going to go with you, and you're going to be by yourself, and you're going to be alone in this foreign country. And let me tell you, I have done solo cruises like this so many times on Carnival and Princess. And I help women as well go ahead and book those cruises every single day. And I want to make sure that you don't let fear hold you back from having the magnificent, amazing adventure that you're about to have when you go solo cruising by yourself, because you will have an amazing time as long as you keep it in mind. So, reason number 1, the biggest problem that people worry about is that they're going to be lonely, that they'll have no one to talk to. And I'm going to tell you, I never actually felt alone. And you've probably seen this in my other videos. I never felt alone. And part of it is probably a little bit because I was an only child and I'm used to entertaining myself. But for the most part, I never felt alone. As soon as I got on the ship for the first time on my solo cruise, I was scared. I was nervous. I had that butterfly feeling. But then I went to one of my favorite bars, the Alchemy Bar, that had just opened up, and sat down and started talking with crew. And they were friendly, they asked questions. Oh, are you by yourself? And I was like, yes, I'm by myself. And they're like, oh, how fun. And, because they see it. They see other solo cruisers. You're not the only one. This is not the first time that they've seen it. And on top of that, they do keep an eye on you and help you keep an eye on those drinks to make sure no one refuses you. I have experienced that, to be honest. And when you let yourself be known out there and you let the crew know, they will look out for you. And people too. As soon as I sat down, I got to know some of the most wonderful women because their husbands were off doing the casino or they're off doing something, so they wanted to go to the bar. They would come and hang out at the Alchemy Bar. They see another woman. We start chatting. I've gotten to know people's businesses. I've gotten to know people's families. I've seen baby pictures of all over the world, all because I just opened myself up. And even when I didn't think I was going to open myself up, I just stepped out of my cabin. I would take my crochet and I would sit out like in the little atrium and I would just listen to the music and I would crochet. I had so many women would come up and and ask me about my project, tell me about their projects. So I really never felt alone. People always will come up to you and talk to you, especially other women. When they see one woman, we tend to like to be in groups, and we know we're pack animals, so we will talk to each other, and we like to keep our eye out for each other as well. And even when I was on excursions, I got scared, like, oh my gosh, like, what am I going to do? I always book a cruise excursion when I can. The only time I don't book a cruise excursion and I go off on my own is either when I'm with somebody else, or I have met someone on the ship who is also doing that similar adventure. Like if I go to Mr. Sancho's or if I go to Paradise Beach, I will go ahead and make sure that I'm going with somebody who's from the ship. And we go together, we take the cab together, so I'm never alone in the cab, because that's a safety thing. But because of that, I never felt alone on the excursions. Most of those people I met on excursions and got to know them, and they're like, what are you doing in Cozumel? I'm like, oh, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there, and I'm not going to do anything because, it's kind of a, there's this safety warning right now, so I don't want to like tempt fate. And they're like, hey, come with us, and we'll keep an eye on you. Awesome. And I hop on. And because you can change your plans at all. That's the great thing about solo cruising. You can change your plan at all the time, which brings me to the second thing, which is freedom. You can change your plans at a moment's notice. Feeling sick and you don't want to go on that excursion? Call the crew excursion desk. I don't feel like going today. And they'll cancel it. Of course, you might most likely you'll lose it. Although I've had like genuine times where they accidentally gave me gluten because I'm gluten intolerant, and they were able to refund me. But because of I had an allergy right the night before, so I couldn't go on the excursion because it would be like a swim excursion, and that would have been bad. But for the most part, you have the freedom. You have the freedom to go to a pool deck party. You have the freedom to go to the casino. You have the freedom to go to the shows, which my kids hate and my husband hates. I could go see all the shows. I've seen the 80s shows, the one about getting married and, my boyfriend and all that stuff. The showstoppers. I've seen them so many times. Definitely the 80s show. I could definitely go ahead and work that out for you. But I've seen them so many times. But you have that freedom. You have that freedom when you go by yourself to not have to worry about what anybody else wants to do or what anybody else thinks, because you are the navigator to your own adventure. You are the one who is setting the limits. You are the one who's setting the plans. And if you don't want to do it, don't do it. There's nobody stopping you. Just you. So that also brings me back to reason number 3 of why I think you need to go solo cruising. And that is when you go on a cruise by yourself, you will then realize how strong and capable you really are, because you are a strong person. You're the one who's been taking care of the kids. You're the one who's making sure they're going to school and they're fed, they're clothed, they've got everything over their roof. I mean, I love my husband, and he has provided for us exponentially. He has. And I am very grateful for how hard he works to put a roof over our heads. But like he always tells me, I'm the one he may put the roof over my head, but I create that home. And I know you've done that too. I know you've not only probably created a home for your family at some point in life, you have created the life that you needed for whoever is in your life. You have taken care of people, and you need this. This is for you. And when you are by yourself and you're not having to worry about what other people want to do, you will find out that there is strength in you that can go above all mountains. You can climb any mountain. You can go ziplining. You don't have to fear, what are other people going to think if I go ziplining at my age? I mean, I've seen 70-year-old and 80-year-old women going down those zip lines. Why? Because they didn't care anymore. And don't wait till you're 70 or 80 years old to start feeling this way if you're not. You start feeling it now. 20, 30, 40. Start living your life now. And when you start cruising by yourself, you start to get that more confidence, and you find yourself talking to strangers even when you're not on a cruise. You find yourself talking to people at the store and introducing yourself and getting to know them, and just saying, oh yeah, and you start to find that you are much more social than you've ever been in your life. And that all comes with confidence, because you no longer have the person talking in your head telling you, you can't do this, because you can. And I'm here to tell you, you can cruise solo. There is nothing that you can't do. And cruising solo by yourself is easy. Now, let me go ahead and just stop for a minute. I'm going to take a quick pause. If you like so far what I've been telling you as far as solo cruising and some of the other cruise tips that I give you, please make sure you like and subscribe and activate that bell button to go ahead and just follow for some more cruise tips, because I plan to definitely go ahead and record more for all of you guys, because I think everybody needs to hear this. So let's go ahead and go back. I have my notes over here. And we were on 3. So 4. Social opportunities are super much better. They're so much better. So I notice, like, when I'm cruising with my husband, and it's not that my husband isn't the most approachable man, although he does kind of like what they call, I guess, resting you know what face. Trying to keep my YouTube PG. But he does kind of come off a little unapproachable. So sometimes I don't get a lot of people approaching me. Even on our excursions, people won't come and approach us. I usually have to approach them and be like, we're okay, we're safe, we're friendly people. Even though my husband probably doesn't look very friendly. He looks like one of these, these angry Vikings. He's got red hair, so you can kind of imagine. But when you are alone, like I said, women tend to gravitate to other women, because we are kind of like these pack creatures that like to stay together, because safety in numbers, right? And we know what the world is out there, and there's that internal instinct in us to protect each other from either nefarious creatures or men who want to do evil, or just even safety in general. Women tend to gravitate towards each other. And I've had wonderful experiences where I've met all kinds of women's groups that I've traveled together, and friends who are traveling together, and they're like, "Hey, come and join us." Even on my long cruises, and I've had people to hang out with throughout that whole cruise. I will be walking across the ship, and I'll see one of the party members in one of their groups, and they're like, "Hey, what's up?" And they're not doing anything, their companion is off doing something else, and I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna head over here." It's like, "Oh, that sounds like a great idea, you mind if I join you?" I'm like, "Sure, let's go." And we'll go hang out at the bar, we'll go to the casino, and we'll play games. We get to laugh, we jam, or even we'll sit at the show together. I've made so many friends like that. And yes, I've made friends with people who had husbands too. Not like that, not like any type of swinger thing. No. It's more of a hey, we've got similar things where we're both married and we both have children who are adults or something like that, and we get talking about our children, and we and we'll sit there and we'll have drinks for like hours at the bar, or we'll have we'll hang out at one of the trivia or something like that, and they'll become trivia. I join them with trivia because I know a little bit more about certain things that they know, and they know more stuff about I don't know. So I have made some great, and it's so easy when you're solo, because when you're solo, it's really easy for people to say like, "Hey, let me grab you. You can be our third wheel or our fourth wheel, fifth wheel, sixth wheel." We don't mind. When there's 2 people, it does get a little bit more difficult, because it's like, are we going to get along with both of you? Because I like her, but I don't know about him, which I kind of get a lot with my husband. But my husband is like the sweetest man in the world. But I get that sometimes. And the same thing goes with like when I'm with my kids too. I mean, my daughter, she's wonderful, but she's really, really quiet until you get to know her. And then she just blah, 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 like me. So she talks a lot too. And again, it's that balance. Or, are our kids old enough, Because one of my kids looks very, very young. He looks like he's 16 when he's really like 26. So it's weird. So when you're solo, there are many more solo opportunities, okay? And then let me look at my last one. Cost. I know a lot of people worry about that single supplement. This is reason 5, which is the cost. The single supplement is not something you need to fear, because as a travel agent, I actually get to see all the different types of discounts that go out there, because cruise lines are noticing that more and more people are going by themselves. In fact, my cruise offers, I get better cruise offers where I can go up to a balcony versus like an interior or an ocean view, because I cruise, but they see that I cruise by myself. So they not only give me like a free balcony or a free suite or something like that, they also give me free drinks everywhere on board. And if you've ever bought that drink package, it's like $1,000. It's like more than the cruises sometimes. So I actually get better offers because they see that. They see that I cruise by myself a lot, and they will see, and so I get offers that will give me a better room because I'm getting that free offer drink. When I don't get the free offer drink, I tend to get an even better room, but no free drinks. And since, you know, we drink on the part, we tend to keep that one anyways. But there's ways around that. Now, as far as when you are traveling by yourself and you have that single supplement, yes, you are going to be paying for 2 people and not getting the credit like you would on Carnival or Princess. You know, they don't give you that credit. There are, I believe, Royal does. I can't remember quite yet, and I'm sure someone can comment in the comments, because everybody's changing right now with how they're doing their frequent traveling program. It's probably going to change by the time I even finish this video. But the single supplement, for the most part, is there. The thing you don't have to do is you don't have to pay taxes. Something did come out recently with one of the cruise lines where they said they were going to charge for it. And it was like, I know for a fact you can't charge for it because the port taxes you can't charge for it, because the port taxes are for per person. They're for the physical body that is there, and that is a transitional fee that you have to pay. So I may pay, let's say, quote, round numbers, $100 for port taxes, but the cruise line doesn't keep that. It goes straight to the port, or it's supposed to go straight to the port. If they're skimming money off of it, that's between them and the federal government. But that's what it's supposed to be, okay? That those port taxes are just something that you're going to have to pay. So like when I say free cruises, like I might get the free balcony, but I still have to pay the port taxes. So my free cruise will still be like $400 or $500, but then I get like these onboard credits. So I usually will have to put like $200 down or $400 down, because sometimes the deposit's like $200 a piece. But I don't think I've paid more than $500 for like a very basic balcony room. The interior was like even lower. I think it was like $300 or something like that. It was really, really, really low. And that's just because the port taxes and the deposit. And about $200 of that deposit automatically is coming back as an onboard credit. And that works for both Carnival and Princess. So in essence, yes, I'm getting it free. And then whatever I did pay minus the port taxes, minus the port taxes comes back as an onboard credit. So you're not really paying for it. So that's why. But again, those are because of casino cruises. Now, if this is your first time and you're just starting, of course, you're going to have like a regular rate. And that regular rate, you know, they do have some discounted rates, and they're still going to charge you that single supplement. So you're paying for 2 people. Again, you want to try to get something with that onboard credit so that way you can get some of that money back. And the other thing is, when you do like that drink package, you only have to pay for one, because now they make you pay for everybody that's 21, they make you pay. So you only have to pay for yourself if you get the drink package. And also, they do have certain cruises. This is especially true with Princess. They have a list where you don't pay the single supplement, or it's a reduced rate for single travelers. And I know Princess does this, I know Royal Caribbean does it, and I know Norwegian does it. So it is possible, because especially since they have those single cabins, the solo cabins. In fact, Norwegian has like a whole lounge for solo cruisers. It's very cool. And these are things that cost is just not something you have to worry about. Initially, yes. Now how I get these lower free rooms is through the casino offers, and I can go into that later. And I know there's a lot of YouTubes out there. If you follow Poverty to Paradise. She talks really, really great about how she cruises with using the casino rates. And I really like her method. And if you follow her, she's great. I'm collecting my things. But cost is not something you need to worry about. And I hope this really went ahead and reduce some of your fear as far as what you can expect on your cruise. You really have nothing to fear. You really don't need to fear traveling by yourself. And the safety issue is not, just like when you're going out to the club or when you're going down to the grocery store or you're going shopping at Christmas at the mall. Practice safety, be aware of your surroundings. That is just common sense. This is not something I should have to ever tell any woman or any person. It's common sense to just be cognizant of the people around you. So just remember, if you don't take action and you don't book that cruise right now, you're going to keep scrolling and you're going to keep wishing, and your life is going to pass you by, just like mine almost did. And you don't want to be in your 70s and 60s regretting that you never got to live for you. Because so much we try to live for other people. Don't do that to yourself. Live for yourself. It's okay to be selfish every once in a while. It's okay to go on that cruise by yourself. And if you do feel lonely, like I mentioned before, there are many people on the cruise. If you just don't want to talk to people and you're just lonely for family, do what I do. I FaceTime with my husband or, use that WhatsApp video so I can talk to him. I do the same thing with my kids. I have this photo frame that my kids can send me videos of my grandkids, and it also sends me videos, it sends me pictures, and it goes straight to my little photo frame, my little digital photo frame. So when I come back from dinner or come back from a show or come back from the casino, it says, hey, you got this new picture. So I never miss those moments of being with my grandson and what he's doing and what's going on. And I still go visit him. I visit him every other month. And I still get to watch him grow up. And the same thing with my husband. At night, I still go ahead and every night of our cruise, I call him. I tell him I love him. I miss him. We talk probably a little dirty. and then we go to bed. And I close off. But the best thing about it is I've got the whole bed to myself. And I don't have the dog bugging me. And I don't have to hear him snore. But thankfully, he's got a CPAP, so it's not too bad. But I don't have to hear anything. I just go to sleep. And I wake up to a beautiful sunrise over the ocean every morning. And it's breathtaking. That whole experience is breathtaking. So don't let your dream pass you by. Don't let your venture pass you by. Do this. Do it now. And if you are needing help, I'd be happy to help. Otherwise, you can absolutely do this. You can go on there, go on to the Carnival's website, go on to the Princess website, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, whatever cruise line you prefer, Disney even if you like doing Disney. Go and do it. Activate that. Hit that book now button. You can do it. And if you have any big cruise fears that I have not covered here, please let me know. Because I know these are the things that I was worried about. But if you're worried about something else, please leave it in the comments. I will be happy to respond to them and maybe even make a video about it. Because there are some things that people fear that others don't. So please let me know if I have not addressed it here. And again, just remember, your solo cruise adventure is waiting to happen. Okay? Let's go ahead and make it together. All right? Let's do this.